my sun sign, which is Gemini, I became two people in the film. And I think I should have just been one person with one solid conviction. The root of Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna was a relationship-based film. It was an intimate film about two couples, and each one of them. And the other thing is, I had written the characters very differently, and then stars stepped in, and I started adhering to star imagery and persona over and above the core content. Like if you read the screenplay of Kabhi Alvida, it's infinitely superior to the film. And I think that I let many moments of that film down by some parts were overcast, some parts were overtly opulent for no reason. It took away the intimacy and paved the way for mainstream. With the result, it has a neither here nor there feeling. While some scenes in the film are very strong and impactful, others are, I would say, like perhaps, catering, which they shouldn't have. It's the one film and only film in my career graph that I'm going to do again. And I will do Kabhi Alvida and hopefully get it right.
Is there a filmmaker, Shubhra, which filmmaker has the maximum entries? Turns out Vishal Bhardwaj is two current one filmmaker over others that you feel has had the greatest impact on where cinema is headed even now, and where that period of 1995 to 2015 is concerned. Who perhaps left the most indelible stamp?
Alright, so I would say that if I had 94 to play with, I would say Shubhra. Absolutely. When Hum Aapke Hain Kaun was, it's a film that everybody references in some way or the other. Aditya Chopra, of course, is in here because in October 95 was when Dilwale came out. And I would also say that Maine Pyar Kiya, Shubhra, also I would say Karan. I think that would have been, those are the three filmmakers I think really have shaped the 25 years that came after that in a way that no other filmmaker has, because each one of those films is the kind of gold standard by which other filmmakers even create romances around them. It's only when people started breaking the mold, which is why the films that you're seeing here are all films that did something that these guys had not, or they had left a little space, or something they did that these films had. It was like, where do you go after Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak? Where do you go after Dilwale? So these are all films that were, in a sense, a response to these three big films.
I have thereabouts, and some of them we don't give enough credit for. I think, if you think about, when we talk about modern day, contemporary, casual, conversational writing, it actually started with Dil Chahta in 2001 with Farhan Akhtar. Many filmmakers followed suit and made filmmakers like Zoya Akhtar, Imtiaz Ali. They I think came from the similar space. But Dil Chahta Hai was iconic. So I would say Farhan Akhtar was iconic for creating this casual conversation in film, which friends like Ashley in urban India speak like. Then when you talk about just sheer visual opulence, I think Sanjay Leela Bhansali sets the template. And today we've all seen the trailer of Padmavati. He pretty much paints celluloid like no other filmmaker does. He does what K.R. did with Mughal-e-Azam. He does with great filmmakers of the year, to paint just cinematic, just make it so cinematic that makes you question digital always, because it just makes you feel like every frame is a painting. Sanjay Bhansali would be the other filmmaker. When we talk about Anurag Kashyap, we must say he started a movement that we still don't give. Of course, he gets a lot of credit from people in and around that movement. But we must know that there are many films and filmmakers that have spiraled off the energy he kind of created. And I think that he has created a movement of sorts. And good, bad or ugly, there is an energy he brought into the movies that we must respect him for. Beyond that, of course, I'm not mentioning the greater filmmakers, but lastly I would say Raju Hirani for bringing across this syntax that Rishikesh Mukherjee, Basu Chatterjee actually had created, and then no one put forward. Because everyone started going either glossy or exceptionally real. He created the common man conversation. I think, that by making the films catering to a very strong middle class morality, that is what represents us as a nation. So these are the four names I would say that are, I think, beyond every other filmmaker, are, I think, flag bearers of Indian cinema in a certain sense, across various and different kind of, I think, syntax energies.
I would also include Diwakar in this, Diwakar Banerjee, absolutely. Because he's sometimes Vishal Bhardwaj, Anurag Kashyap and Diwakar are all spoken in the same breath, but they're very different kind of filmmakers. And they come from very different spaces. Diwakar inhabits a very urban sensibility, and he's a very middle class Delhi, West Delhi, the whole sensibility of that West Delhi middle class colony that he gets into the movies no one else had before that. of stuff going on his films. And I think he also, in my opinion, I think he also is one of the filmmakers, and he's also a very exciting filmmaker because he goes from one thing to the other. And after sort of mild Khosla, then he makes something like Oilaki, which had real anger, that Abhay Deol's character. Yeah.
No, totally. In fact, I have a great meeting with Divakar. I remember meeting him for the first time at a Hindustan Times conference, and I walked up to him and said, "My talkies with Zoya, Anurag, and Divakar and me." Initially, I think Divakar was really worried about me because he worried that I'll come and ruin that, that whole set piece created by them. That ye pata nahi aa jayega, song, dance will happen, and he'll make something like that will not connect to the rest of the, the films that were made. So I was like, no, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. I'm gonna like just go down that path. So I'll take tight close-ups of things that are not relevant, and maybe I'll fit in. But I didn't land up doing that. But I did land up like a creature, not a filmmaker. Like, who would come from God knows where. When I used to give those interviews, we had the maximum fun mark. We're making the part 2, which Ronnie Screwvala is producing, and I can't wait to go back because the theme is love and lust. And I have no idea what between 4 of us what we're going to create. It's going to be kind of manic.
So I would say that, I think Divakar, Anurag, Vishal, and there's Rajat sitting right over there.
Yes, Rajat here in the house.
He's such a, he's a disruptor in a classic way. He's done films completely out of the box, and I love his Aankhon Dekhi. I think
All of us.
one of the best films that I've seen in a long time. And every time I reference a film that I really like, and I said, this is the man who made the film, and he makes them in a way that no other filmmaker does. And I think that's really why he is in the book as well. Also, I would say that, so Meera Nayak, Monsoon Wedding, again, it's not the big Bollywood film, but it subverted the whole idea of this big, large wedding where everyone's happy, everyone's eating together, everyone's dancing, and everyone loves each other. It was
She's talking about your film.
I'm beyond it now. I'm so used to hearing all kinds of things about my films. It's fine. I take it with a pinch of salt now.
Lots of salt. No, so it's not just Karan. It's all of the other stuff that we do where the insistence on people being happy, I think, has been the ruination of Bollywood. And I think they said, well, why should people be always happy? I think it's wonderful to be, a little bit thoughtful. It's wonderful to actually have a thought in your head which you can pursue for a minute and a half. It's absolutely fabulous, and I think we as viewers grew up long before filmmakers are still catching up. And I think this is the year, I find, that 2017, in very many ways, is actually telling us that the big budget, the tentpole movie, may need to really work very hard for it to keep being relevant. Because the film that The Death in the Gun, Lipstick Under My Burqa, the film that we Newton, the film that we've all liked so much, and they have not done that badly either. They're not all hiding under some rock, asking for viewers to come and watch them. I think it's the future.
What she just said, that's interesting. A little bit schizophrenic because they're trying to do too many things and not really achieving that.
So I would address the second one. I think that is exactly the problem because, as Karan said, if you are convinced about what you want to do, then you should go down that path. Then you should not be really sort of looking at dressing up the star or dressing up the scene, or it's just window dressing then. Whereas I don't like calling it content because I think it's not a word that I like. But I think where is the plot? Where is the story? Where are the people? Who are these people that you're asking me to spend the 2.5 hours of my time with? Am I engaged with them? Do I really like them? I don't have to like them, is what I was saying when I talked about being happy. I may not like them immediately, but I have a relationship with them. I think that is what is a little bit of a problem here. You have personas. Films are still being written in 2017 to suit the persona of the star. I think that needs to, somewhere, there needs to be some awareness that no longer will exist. I remember you telling me that when you're on the table, you know how much money that you're going to be spending in that film, and you know pretty much what is going to happen. You know exactly, your financials have to be so clear. So I think a combination of both, where you're not going all over the place where let's go shoot here, let's go shoot there, let's pretty it up, and also the awareness that we need real people. It may not be real in that real grunge and that kind of grungy sense. It could be just real people and truth. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to dress up a film because it's not required. It's not for the audience that will enjoy that dressing. So you have to identify that right at the beginning. You certainly can't add music into a film like Lunchbox. It's not going to help it anyways because people will decide whether they want to see it irrespective of all the dressings and trappings of mainstream cinema that you add. So I think it's important to identify your audience, which is what pretty much we don't end up doing. There is a strategy. That is what studios abroad, international filmmakers do. They identify their audience and then go along. We tend to kind of want to do everything because we think we made a really new film and then we cop out at the last minute by adding something to the film, which will never help really.
What's the last great Hindi film that came out? The last great Hindi film that came out. I know great is a
Right?
yeah.
Great actually, you need to have, like, for it to sit for a bit,
Sure,
for it to
sure.
have greatness attached to it as far as I'm concerned. But I
How far back would you take that? I feel like Lagan was the last great film to come out. And I feel like everything, there's been the Navai, and there's been some. But I feel like do they have the enduring quality of Lagan? I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think you're overthinking it. I've liked so many movies in the last 15 years, but I don't know. Only retrospect acquires greatness, right?
Sure.
I think when we are like 70, we'll realize what was really great. Because, generations beyond us will talk to us about movies. Like, we know Sholay is great because we still talk about Sholay. We know Mughal Azam is great because we're still referring to Mughal Azam. We know there are so many films beyond that. Like, to me, Kabhi Kabhi was greater than many other movies, but not to someone else. So I've enjoyed so many cinema experiences. Even in the last 2 years perhaps. I think Bahubali is great for various reasons. I think Dangal is amazing. I think Rang De Basanti is amazing. Or, so many movies. Aankhon Dekhi is amazing. There's so many movies that are amazing, and then there are 25 to 30 films that come to my mind. But I don't know whether we can slot these, and whether it's those films that make it to books or not. I think that's irrelevant and personal. It's subjective, So I think, like Shubhra said, maybe decades down the line, when I discuss movies with my babies, maybe when I'm 30 years down the line, I'll chat with like, hey, did you guys like this? And they said they didn't see it, perhaps it's not great. Because we have to check with generations ahead. As I said, retrospect teaches us greatness.
I think for a critic, I think for you and me, and I think Namrata's here and a couple of other people, great. I don't think we use the word great easily at all. And I don't think we should. I don't think we should because it's too much of this quick, easy classification. It's very, and especially when it comes to stars, Karan asked me that question about stars. At the Express, I fought for the longest time, and I said we will not do stars because
The star rating.
the star rating people will just look at that and they don't bother reading anything that you've written because then it becomes. Yeah, so, but I finally, I think after 17 or 18 years of doing that stuff, I was told okay, so now everyone's like, oh, you gave it only 1.5 stars, made 300 crores, and I said I don't review the market, I review the film. There is a difference.
I feel like first,
The one thing that I have to know that I'd like to ask you, and I'm sure everyone's interested, what is this phenomena of the half star? I don't understand that. I don't understand what is 2.5 or 1.5. It's 1, 2, 3. That's how we know the numbers. We know 1.5 as a mathematical calculation. But how does it apply to a film like 2.5? It's not good, but it's not bad, but it's between bad and good, and that's a word. So I'm just saying that I don't get. I know why you would do it. We've had this conversation, and then you just answered that question already. That you weren't interested in the stars at all, but now you're also
I
half.
think you're the only one who still resists the star system, no?
There are no stars.
Yeah.
So well done. I think that
But I feel like the gap between 2 and 3 is so
I
wide.
don't have a say in that. It depends from organization to
It's
organization.
really.
But have you been in? Has this been enforced, Namrata, by the Hindu to you, or?
It came into account when several discussions happened, and people said that stars don't serve any purpose. So it came quite recently. But I think I'm really happy with that. It just unburdens you as a writer to take off.
I think the reason to have stars is the quick conversational point that comes out of a review when you read it. It's a if I've read your academic analysis of the film, it may not be immediately engaging as much as the final result. It's test mein marks kitne mile is what we want to know. So when you say 2.5, it's immediate indication. So I suppose your 2.5 is because I liked it, didn't love it, but I didn't love it that much, so I will give it 2.5 and be safe. So I think it's
2.5 is, I think that 2 and 3 gap is too wide. You know, the 2 is kind of below average.
and the worst is when films get half star. So it's like you get marks for just showing up. I think you get half star for just releasing. So I like, what is half star? I don't get that either. I don't get 1.5 either, Shubhra, but that's a conversation we'll talk about later. It's your favorite rating. Like Shubhra didn't mind the film. She gave it 2 stars. That's the indicator apparently. I was like,
Yes, it is the indicator.
Yeah.
2, it's fair.
yeah.
1 is poor, 2 is fair, 3 is good.
And there's something between poor and fair, which is bad.
Which is, it was okay. Like, I will tell you this, Karan. I go there, like I said, I'm looking for something
Right.
I like, and
No,
I
no,
will
that's
tell you.
true.
I will tell you that I did not like this, but I will also say that this worked for me, and I'm always the stars. I wish we could just throw it into the out of the.
And I have to say the scary part about Shubhra's review, that it pops up first when you write reviews of a film. So that 1.5 stars staring at you every time you write reviews of the film, and Shubhra's review is out there. I'm like, oh God, can someone push the others up a little higher?
As a filmmaker, doesn't it disappoint you? You know, this whole rating system makes the film look like a product. It's not a Maruti car where
Yeah.
you say, okay, the interiors were this, and you know, the tires were not very good. I mean, I don't know. People keep asking the
But
critics.
I think-
want to know what the filmmakers feel.
Namrata, I dance on reality shows. You're asking the wrong person. I'm pretty much a commodity of my own. So I'm hardly the person to comment on somebody else objectifying me. I've objectified myself enough. So it's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. And you missed the beginning of our chat where I said I'm obsessed by reading reviews. I'm a review junkie. I love reading. Even like now, my favorite pastime sometimes it's like, let me go back to the reviews of an old film just for my entertainment, just to see what people have written, and it's engaging.
I feel like you've benefited from it.
Yes, I have. Tremendously. Because I'm one of those people who loves to read what's wrong with things. Even the people around me, I encourage them to tell me. I know that I make a film, a kind of film that will never appeal to all sensibilities. But I like to know that within the parameters of even that, what are the glaring errors that I feel people and reviewers are very, they're instinctive enough to point it out, and they give you a perspective that is not something you may think of entirely on your own. I read the clever ones who I believe are sharp and intelligent enough to analyze your film. I love reading what they have to say, because at the end of the day, they're being honest. They are not coming with an agenda. Why do they care? They don't know you. They don't know you long enough to kind of have an opinion about you personally and therefore be biased about your film. That happens more within the trade. But I think English media, when they report, or Hindi media and regional media that reports your films, they have a really strong perspective. Like one of the longest reviewers I really admire is Rangan, and I love reading his reviews. They're very long. And when I started reading them, no one had even, Ayan Mukherjee, the filmmaker, told me that you've got to start reading Rangan Bharadwaj's reviews. And they are deeply academic, and he spends a lot of time, which is why his reviews never out on a Friday, because he comes up with because he spent a lot of time thinking about the film and then giving you, and then he finds things that you have not even thought of. Sometimes they're true, sometimes not. But I'm a fan. Like when I read Shubhra's review, I know that she's agenda free. She didn't like it, but this is the reason why. She wanted to like it and didn't like it. Similarly, when you break down a film, I find you very entertaining on television, especially because you say some really funny things at times. And if God forbid we're at the receiving end of something, it's quite hilarious. As to when Rajiv and even Anu, when she reviews, because Anu has this sweet demeanor, and then she says the meanest things about your film, and you'll be like, oh my God, like she's so lovely when you meet her. How could she say these mean things? But she's been true and honest, and that's the truth.
I really think that personality or being personal, I think it needs to be anybody here who sees any personal, even a little hint of being personal, I think they should just not go down that path at all. That reviewer is not a reviewer in my opinion. Then they are judging you. They're judging you on
Reviewer's personality in the review as well.
Exactly, because it has to reflect who you are. Like with Shubhra, I think you're more detached from all of us as an industry, and we meet you, as a respected member of the media, and we meet you like, an academic platform such as this. with Rajiv, it must be, I have to ask you, it must be tougher for you to maintain that objectivity because you interact with every member of the industry on a weekly basis sometimes. And then you have to go and say things about them in sometimes in a not very favorable light. It must be challenging for you to face those very same people next week again. I'm sure it's difficult.
Go in hoping every film's good because you're not going to bump into them soon. But I think you have to. I mean, if you can't do that part of the job, fairly and honestly and objectively, then you shouldn't do it at all. It's actually easier not to do it at all than to kind of.
Oh, and it's heartbreaking at those previews when you see those critics run away. Before meeting, you can just see Rajiv like literally trying to find the exit door, and it's like you've got it. Like I always feel when you have to go up to somebody and ask them, "What did you think?" That's the first problem your film's had, because I feel they'll come up to you and say it. If you've really made a good film, there's no way that you won't go and tell the filmmaker. The moment there's blankness on the critic's face, you have to just realize, still I find people stupid enough to go tap them and say, "Kaisa laga?" I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why would you do this to yourself? Mat karo na, ghar jao, so jao, aur puja paठ kar lo, jo bhi karna hai, पूछो मत.
But I think that should go for everybody. I think even people who are not critics, to have an instant opinion about something you've just seen, what is it about? I mean, have you even had a chance to breathe? To coming out and say trash.
Which is why.
But we are a reactive nation.
What?
Is there anything worse than live tweeting?
Oh God, live tweeting. I mean, really? What is that? Are you watching the film? Are you watching the film? Are you doing this stuff? I really think it is this.
One of the things that is addressed in the book is also how the whole process of reviewing has changed. It used to be Sundays and leisure.
We used to write on Saturdays for Sunday. Used to. There was a time
I mean, the very first review, I think all of you, maybe some of you very young here, but people my generation and above would know that the Times review that Khalid Mohammed wrote was always Sunday morning.
Yes, Sunday morning was
So
very
it was a Sunday morning review, and then subsequently it was very much the template. Things have changed in the last 4 years, I think, and now if you're not the first review out, and then there are people who are making up reviews also without having seen the film. Online you read like on Thursday because Dubai, people see the film and then reviews are like the whole idea is for an event film like who got it first. Like the first review that becomes like the big deal to talk about.
Now, I want to go back to the book, Shubhra. If you could, are there films that you couldn't include that broke your heart?
Rocket Singh. I absolutely wanted to include Rocket Singh. I thought it was absolutely my favorite Ranbir Kapoor film, and I think Yash Raj for some reason had lost their mojo. In the few years preceding that film, it was almost as if they had no idea what kind of movie they wanted to make. Suddenly, Shivita and Jaideep, they came up with this film which is so true. To me, it is one of the truest films that I've seen. Unfortunately, it didn't do well. Apparently, according to Yash Raj themselves, they say it's the worst performing film of their entire.
That might have changed since Kerry Band came along.
Yeah, perhaps. But I think it really broke my heart. I really wanted to get into that one. I absolutely wanted it. Yeah.
We've all had our fair share of films that have been terrible and haven't performed, and some are heartening and some are disappointing. Like Rocket Singh, I'm sure must have been because it was an image. I remember you liking it as well. But most things Ranbir Kapoor does is always really good. He's such a great artist. That film was special, and for various reasons, it didn't connect or resonate with a national audience. But I mean, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a good film.
No, Barfi's not in it. Not a huge fan.
No, not.
Bansali just won. Black.
Bansali, yeah, Black because it did something. It got disability into the middle of the narrative in a way no other big mainstream film had done, with Mr. Bachchan and Rani Mukherjee, both essay characters who had difficulties, who had challenges. And I think for whatever it is worth, whether I do find on a second visit I thought the baroqueness of that film, for lack of a better word, did bother me a little bit. The fact that Mr. Bachchan plays a teacher who jerks this little girl around a little bit was also bothersome. But I think as a film, and at the latter part, there was a lovely tender scene between him, his character, and Rani Mukherjee, where the possibility of something more than just being a tutor and a mentor is explored, but it's gone in a flash. But to me, it made the film. And I think it really, yes, I think it's, because after that, My Name is Khan came along, Tare Zameen Pe came along, suddenly disability was not this thing that had to be treated in a like these guys from the zoo, or absolutely, with some amount of sensitivity, and with people having their own narratives. I think even Margarita with the straw. This was a person. It was a person. She had a person. She had something to say, and I think it was fabulous.
Are there titles in this that you get pulled up for how could this be in it? Do you get that a lot?
Get the Rohit Shetty film, Golmaal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Golmaal film, absolutely. I think I have not liked anything that he made except for Chennai Express, which I really liked. Really liked, yeah. And I just felt that this kind of film that he's done it was so successful that it wiped out the possibility of every other kind of comedy that existed before that. Priyadarshan, it was before that, David Dhawan was before that. So kind of a broad, slapstick comedy, physical comedy. And none of the gentle, thoughtful, the kind of humor that comes from interaction, the Rishikesh Mukherjee kind of. It may have had a second innings if this film hadn't been the monstrous success that it was. So a lot of people say, what was that film doing? What is Govinda doing in the book? And I think, Govinda, why not? I mean, how can you have a film book with the last 20 years without mentioning Govinda? Because he was such a player, and I think he's such an underrated actor. I wish he was, somebody gives him a role worthy of his time. And our time. Yeah.
To both of you, do you find that your relationship with the film or your response to a film changes with time and considerably changes with time? Or how you feel about a film?
I was actually looking at myself and I was looking at these films in the last 30
It's
years.
also been an exercise to that.
It was something that I was doing consciously, and I kept looking at, did I like this film a little more than I should have? But for I always look at film and what did it do here? Did it touch me here? How did it make me feel? And I think in that sense, I don't think there was anything in this, except for perhaps Black, which I liked much more that time than I did this time. Maybe that and a couple of others. Every single film, same. I was hitting the same marks every single time. Yeah.
I think that sometimes many films are judged too soon, and you kind of tend to then the film acquires a certain love and cult status. One of our films that I feel got a lot of love but much later was Wake Up Sid. I remember when Wake Up Sid came out, people just, I don't think it got the reviews that actually goes with the appreciation it has today. Because the irony lies in the fact that many people who saw Ayan Mukherjee's second film, Jawani Diwani, all came out saying that, oh, we liked your first film more. But that was not what they said at that time, and you are one of them. And it was like, I feel like it didn't get the required love because I think it was truly a wonderful coming of age narrative. And you know what I mean? It didn't get that kind of like. Similarly, there are films you overtly enjoy at the time of release because it's a bit of a celebration, it's a time, mood of the nation, your own mood perhaps, perhaps makes you engage with the film a lot more. Then you revisit it. It's happened to me with so many feature films, and I'm a cinegoer much more than a filmmaker. I really watch films like an audience. For me, it's exciting to be sitting in a cinema hall and watching a film. And many a time I've said, oh my God, I loved it. And I use words quite loosely at times, and I keep getting like me and Adi as in Chopra. He's like, why are you so struck? Why are you so struck? Why can't you just watch a film like a regular audience? I said, no, but why are you getting so excited? I call him, they overtly praise something, and he was like, I think you totally overreacted. And then I see that film 5 or 10 years later, and I'm like, maybe not as good as I said earlier. So it works both ways at times.
Is there a film you feel differently about?
No, I won't mention it even there because it's not fair now. It's
something you like more than you did at the time?
Yeah, like Rang De Basant. So when I first saw it, I have to say I liked it. I had issues with it for some reason. I saw it very recently again, 2 years ago I think, and I was blown away by it. And I watched it with a totally different mindset. I sat and watched and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Literally, I was like, oh my God, what a great film this is. I really enjoyed it. But then there are those timeless films that you watch and you can't stop loving. Like Masoom is one film that every time I watch, every single time I watch, in every mindset of mine, I just enjoy it even more. So there are films that live the test of time, and some that evolve and some that dissolve.
So I think it's a mindset. I think it's what you also bring to the film is what you get out of it. It's not always this kind of very objective. I am this person and there is that film and that's it. And there is a relationship that's going on. You know, so I think that's very important for us to understand. And really, and I really think a lot of people who are, do you like nothing? I mean, I'm sure we get asked this
All the
question
time.
all the time. So this, have you read this? Have you know, please read it and then tell me whether I like it or not. It's very hard. It's not that hard. Okay, 300 words, not that hard. You know.
You know, you said in the sorry, you said in the book, Shubhra, that DDLJ was the film. DDLJ was when Hindi cinema became. DDLJ was when Hindi cinema became Bollywood.
Yes.
From that very moment that DDLJ came out, it was like a click and a settling. There's a before DDLJ and after DDLJ. Can you talk about that? Can you talk about your own sort of relationship with the film and Karan, specifically about that film, and was that in a sense the film that really because I remember you saying you were at a point in your life where you were unsure whether you wanted to be a filmmaker or not. That was a film that kind of was your training ground. You were going to go off to Paris and study French, or so talk about that film and both of you what it meant to you and your relationship with it now.
I will tell you why I speak about Dilwale, but why it's defining in so many ways. So up to that extent, and academically, I don't know how many have analyzed this, but up to Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, love stories per se in cinema were rebellious. Whether it was love story or Betab or Ek Duje Ke Liye or anything that kind of resonated nationally were rebellious, where they objected to their parents and the parents had to come around. Never before was there a lead protagonist who actually said, I will not run away with you till I seek the permission of your parents.
So reverse rebellion.
Yes, so it was emotional and it was strategic and immensely clever. Because what it did is it engulfed a new morality with an audience base. It endeared you to the parents, to the superiors and seniors of a family, and it gave a new perspective to the youngsters who were planning to rebel. Because rebel comes, see, in marriage issues, love, relationship dynamics and traumas, parental conflict will remain in our country even today. There is nobody who stays away from it. Parents have an opinion of who you want to marry and they are going to voice it whether you like it or not. Whether it's caste, whether it's community, whether it's hierarchy in wealth, whatever it is, it poses to be a problem in even times today. Dilwale was the first film that had that approach, which is why you wonder, it's a wonderful film and a greatly crafted screenplay with some amazing characters, performances, music, humor, etc. But what is the one identifiable part of Dilwale that really resonated with India and the diaspora? It was this. It was this one simple fact. The fulcrum of the film lay on this philosophy that endeared it to the parents and to the seniors of the family. Apart from it being a training ground, because that's where I learned, I think that was the magic of Dilwale was that. And of course then, it gave you all those elements and packaged, and it has iconic moments. Jaji Le Apni Zindagi is still spoken about on various platforms. Raj was like he was the poster boy of love and romance. He is everyone's aspiration, to the point that people wanted to run on any train that went to Europe to find, somebody just like him. And Simran became like, and today when you look at it, the modern voices will scream patriarchy and will scream like, less of women empowerment, Karma Chauth, which we're all criticized for. At that time, I didn't even think of those things, that I was kind of, promoting something that was deeply patriarchal and why. It was not a thought. I'm like, Karma thought, commercial. That was a thought. Shadi song, commercial. We must have these things, big set, commercial, big. It was like those were our mainstream elements. Like my father used to say interesting things. He used to say like, you must have a buffer scene after interval. Now that was because people are settling in, so the scene should make no sense after interval. Because you should not feel, that's what a buffer scene meant. That buffer scene का ये मतलब है कि पहले 2-3 मिनट में ऐसा कुछ मत करो जो that moves the story ahead. So we used to like, he said before interval don't have a sad song. And then interval के पहले थोड़ा फिल्म को drop करो. I mean, end climax के पीछे फिल्म को drop करो ताकि climax उठ जाए. So how do these are things that my father said that to me it was just set in my head. So no slow song before interval, buffer scene after interval, a week and pre-climax for my climax to rise. I mean, it was like things that were just set in our heads. We didn't know better. we were young filmmakers that were trying to just understand the balance between commerce and art, trying to bring our own voice to something that was mainstream. There was no multiplex then, there was no single screen divide with the multiplex. It was just an audience. We made movies that had a first half and a second half. First half was fun and games, second half was drama and emotion. It was clearly a template. There was no other template taught to us. Today we have to give logic so much thought. It's daunting that the film has to make sense. Because, and not that I say that nonsense should be promoted, but sense and logic and how did he go from here to there becomes important. Profession. Do you know, I don't even know what Shah Rukh does in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. He was in business. What business is he doing? Even I don't know if you ask me. And the film made no sense in so many parts. What were those 8 letters and what did she write in those first 5 of them? No one questions these things because it was pure conviction that you went with, And today, everything is broken down. So those films, Aditya Chopra and me, came from a different time. The fact that we still exist and are relevant, well done, both of us. Because we've come from a totally different zone of cinema where we were competing with different sensibilities and syntax energies, where we were totally competing with a different climate. Today is a totally different climate, and I think the other year that I have to mention before Shubhra gives you her perspective, the year that really shook things up for Indian cinema, and you have 50 films, but one day maybe you'll write a piece, or somebody should write a piece of the year 2001. Because the year 2001, for those who understand the academics of Indian cinema, is actually what really changed things for us. It gave you Lagan, it gave you Gaddar on the same day, Dil Chahta Hai, Chandni Bar, and ended with Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham. If you see, it's what you know called the big buffet of entertainment. It covers every... It was 2001? There you go. Now, I'm just saying that it is such a deeply iconic year that, went across all parameters, literally, and unfortunately, we've never been able to repeat that year, which is what the real hope for Indian entertainment is. And I remember because by the time Kabhi Khushi had come, well, in the beginning of the year, I thought I was going to be the ruling pope of that year. And I thought, kya koi dhoti mein cricket khel rahe hain? And, Chandni Bar I had not heard of. Dil Chahta Hai, Farhan grew up with, and what is he going to make? And I'm going to sweep the awards here. I got nothing. I want to tell you, I got nothing but a big fat reality check. And then I realized you can't undermine anything because you never know what's going to hit you. And sorry, Shubhra, I think you're taking too much of everyone's time.
No. I was just thinking about Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. For me, what was so important about that film that it was the first time it gave surnames to lead actors and actresses. There was Raj Malhotra. It was not just some Vijay from somewhere. So Raj Malhotra had some, he came from somewhere.
What business we still don't know.
It was a big thing at that point of time. We were all very delighted. And yaar, iske paas surname hai. Simran Kaur is a surname. And we all know that she comes from that. That's her background. But she's actually called that. And it was a total like Sarfarosh. Pakistan was mentioned. It was a big thing because that film was everyone was saying, it had Rita or it had Vijay. Where are these people from?
Miss Rita and Mr. Vijay.
Mr. Vijay. And they had no provenance. They came from somewhere, they went nowhere. That was the 2.5 hours of song and dance and people literally having to make no sense. Lovely films, lovely music, Nasir Hussain, the kind of films that the man made. Everyone out on the road singing songs. Aage kya hoga? Who knows? Aage kya hoga? Who cares? And that was the film. 95 was when Aditya Chopra decided, because both Karan and PK, their second generation filmmaker, they were making sense of the kind of legacy filmmaking that their families had done and where Hindi cinema was coming from. And they were all trying to find their own idiom and their own syntax and their own grammar. And I think Dilwale was absolutely very smartly done because it was youthful in a way that no other film had been before that. It was modern, the idiom was modern. Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol's characters are in a bedroom and they are horsing around. Horsing. Never had happened before. Either you were, sleeping together or not. Okay, or there was a little bit of smudged, a little thing, and who knows what happens in between that stuff. So this was
with all your clothes on.
With all your clothes on, literally, yeah. So here was this film where these guys are having fun, they're young, and they don't care who knows it. And then after the second half was all traditional, and it was totally going back to the home homestead and doing the older person, the mama, the taya, the family came into play. Individual's family has always been. I mean, how do you actually put these things together? Has always been a problem for Bollywood. How much individuality, how much passion can you allow to people before the family has to surround them and inculcate them with morality? It's a really big problem, and I think what DDLJ also did was, people now talk about stalking and misogyny and patriarchy and all of that. At that point of time, there was really, this was, if you did not go after a girl, there was no chance in hell for you to have to actually meet. There was no social context where a young woman and a man could actually meet with each other. So stalking is such a now thing. You cannot, these are metrics of today. You can't really judge a film of 95 on those metrics, So I think, to me, it was one of those, that was really the fabulous part of the film.
Before we open it up, a few questions. We'll end with, we've spoken about this year. I mean, this is the conversation that's going on, but the fact that it's not been a very strong year for certainly mainstream movies and just generally movies in terms of not performing well. What's your favorite Hindi movie this year?
I think it's. You want to go first? Okay, so I have four. I have Newton, I have Lipstick Under My Burqa, I have Konkona's Death in the Ganj, and I did one more. The other one? One more. I can't remember right now, but yeah, absolutely. Whether you would call Death in the Ganj a traditional Hindi movie, I don't know, but it came out of the same space. It had Ranveer Shore, it had Konkona. She directed the film, and everybody in that film has acted in Hindi films before. So in that sense, yes, though it's English Hindi, Newton again, what an astonishing film, and Lipstick again, I really like that film a lot. Yeah.
I've liked a few films. I mean, I have liked. I haven't unfortunately seen Lipstick or Newton. I plan to see them both. I know I've heard some great and amazing things. What have I liked? I enjoyed Bahubali a lot. Not because we presented it. I enjoyed it a lot. I haven't really. I can't say that there are films that have been made that have been incredible, but I have not really watched some of them, and so I can't use the word like my favorite film. Undoubtedly, Bahubali is my favorite film of the year so far, and I can't wait to watch what closes the year.
We have time for a few questions if anyone has any. Yes, gentleman in the back.
Hi. We spoke about rocketting and the reasons why maybe it was not so successful. I was a real life salesman at Joe Gromont at that time. And we used to work in the morning and the evening.
That's where the climax was shot, yeah.
Yeah, in the evening they used to come and shoot the movie. According to me, one of the reasons why it was not successful is because it was past its time. It was at least 5 to 7 years past the prime time when people in the laboratory we used to assemble computers and all. I was at a Dell company who used to customize laptops and they were delivered. So I think it was just a time lapse from the prime time. That's the reason.
Also, I think that the other thing, sir, I think is it was a very internal film, and sometimes internal films don't really work. It was about an issue about an office and what happens, and sometimes those can make very exciting narratives, but they don't engulf a large part of the country. Like they feel it's too internal. Films have to be conversations. They tend to kind of work in a big way when it walks on either the scale engulfs you or then the content you identify with. A film like Rocket Singh becomes too internal an experience, I think.
Hi. As you guys said that when we come out of the theatre, we make a perception about the film quickly, and as you said, we are a reactive nation. But don't you think that the first impression that a film makes when you come out is the most important impression? I mean, yes, the film can grow. It can grow on us, our opinion can change. But for me, the opinion that I have after 2.5 years matters the most. That yes, this struck me. After that, I can find nitty-gritties in the film. This was wrong, this was right, whatever. But for me, the most important reaction is what comes right after the film is finished. Don't you think that that is the most important?
A feeling that it gives you while you're watching it. I think pretty much that instinct, definitely, I think Shubhra would tell you that you have while watching it. But I think what she's trying to say, or what even Rajiv says, is that sometimes you have to kind of like, there are films that you can't immediately react to when you come. It may have moved you to that extent or bored you to that extent, either which way. But you can't immediately frame your words as soon as you walk out of a screening if you're inclined to that being that kind of cynical. If you're that popcorn munching happy audience that is just going to watch it and say, "Arey paka hai, acha hai, bura hai," whatever, then that's separate. We're talking about those who treat cinema like an art form. And if cinema is an art form to you, you will want to give it that thought. Like you see a canvas, you can't immediately say, "I like this painting." You have to stare at every part of it. You know, literally. Like a book, when you read, you're absorbing it because it's allowing you. Words do that. Visuals sometimes tend to not. So I think that's what I suppose you mean.
I also feel we're moving towards, and which is a good sign, a lot of films which don't give you easy answers. Like I don't immediately know how I feel about certain film. It might make me feel uncomfortable, but it's a deeply satisfying film.
Yes.
It's a very good film. So I think sometimes a little time is always down. I think we have time for just one more question. Just one more.
Yeah, you talked about how heartbreaking the process was of actually bringing down films to 50 out of 100. So I'm not exactly cribbing here, but one film I would like to see in this list was English, because that was one film where a 50-year-old actress is able to break this notion that women comebacks don't work. So I just thought maybe that is what exactly would be the reason why that was not interesting. So I'm just interested. Just curious.
So I think it was everything else was a little more important than that. Everything else, sometimes that's the only way that you can do this kind of stuff. So I think we have to run.
Running out of time. We just unwrap
सर बनते हैं नहीं वसंत साहब एक सेकंड राजीव उसके बगैर नहीं आएगा
Come back here.
Thank you so much.